Eagles of Nigeria they happen to be Cameroon's recent nemesis at the AFCON. I remember three of the five titles that Cameroon have when it comes to AFCON. Three was against Nigeria in the final, but in the last three knockout phase at the AFCON, Nigeria have got the better of Cameroon. First in 2004, 2-1 in Tunisia. Of course, 2019, 3-2 it ended in Egypt. And yesterday, they did the job once again in Abidjan. 2-0 it ended for the Super Eagles in the quarterfinals. Now, on that note, welcome you to yesterday at the AFCON. And of course, we'll preview matches that are on the card today on Sport Africa. My name is Ashalolu Afemi. James Agbebi and Kado Mudare, they are here elated, James particularly because it seems the Super Eagles have they've warmed up their way into James's heart. Guys, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Femi. It's a pleasure to be here again.
Yeah, thank you, Femi, and congratulations to the Super Eagles.
James, I can't see a smile on your face. What's going on?
That's
what I'm talking about. All right. Fans across the world, particularly Nigerians, I know you are still celebrating up to this moment. But let's get started. Kayode, I don't know, but I would say that this is the worst Cameroon team that I've seen in recent times in AFCON. I don't know about you. 2-0, it ended. There's no bite, no fight, no resilience. It's completely against what a lot of people thought the Cameroonians would bring to the table in this game.
Femi, I would agree with you because the first thing is Cameroon were not even supposed to be at this stage. Based on what they have played, what they played in the three group games, they didn't deserve to be here. If a team had Senegal, Guinea, and Gambia and needed a last-minute goal to qualify ahead of Gambia, then they don't actually deserve to be at this stage. And they showed in their game against the Super Eagles. I'm not going to take away anything from the Super Eagles. They played a very, very controlled game. Maybe from the start, that game could continue from now to December. The Cameroonians are not going to get a goal because if they played 90 minutes without a shot on goal, that should sum up the summary. And another start from the game that really explains what went down is the fact that Cameroon dominated in ball possession, but that's for those who will see the stats alone and didn't get to see the game. If you got to see the game, you know that the Nigerians conceded possession to them and struck when there was a need. Nigeria could have scored 4, 5, 6 yesterday, and that is the whole story of the game. It was a game that the Super Eagles deserved their victory, but the Cameroonians didn't come to the party. This is not the Cameroonian team that we used to know. These guys have a soft life, and they need to go back and start all over again. The same way they are going through a patch that the Super Eagles have been through, the same patch that the Ghana Black Stars are going through now. Your name, your pedigree alone will not cut it. You have to show on the day that you deserve to win, and that's what happened yesterday.
Well said, Kyle. James, the worst thing is that no shot on target in 90 minutes. I'm sure even the least ranked team coming into this AFCON will have done better against Nigeria. But James, are you sure the Super Eagles played Cameroon yesterday in Abidjan? Because what we knew the Cameroonians for is the fight, the resilience, but none was seen in this game. You could see the frustration on Rigobert Santi's face all along on the touchline.
Yeah, Femi, I think at some point I started asking the person I was watching football with, it's like Nigerian goalkeeper didn't even make any serious save. I was asking the person because it all occurred to me. That was when I now knew that it's the goalkeeper, even when Uzo came in, none of them were tested. I mean, that it was that bad. At some point, what they wanted to start doing was start floating in the ball. That's the style they always resort to once things are not working. They always have the belief that they have the likes of Frank Magri. When Abubakar came in, so they felt that if you check out, they started looking for fouls so that around the box so that they can float in all those balls. But luckily for them, the Super Eagles were ready for them in all those tactics that they try to come up with. So it goes to show how terrible this Cameroonian team is. I think the Super Eagles just nailed them finally to let everybody know that this team, the Senegalese that defeated them, it wasn't a fluke, it wasn't a mistake. I mean, so it goes to show that they have a lot of work to do. A2 has his hands full now, So for me, a good one for the Super Eagles. I think I can't remember the last time I saw the Super Eagles, especially under Pesero, play this as in the tactical and when everything was spot on. It was not beautiful in the heights, but they had a plan. He said it in his press conference that his plan is to score and he doesn't want to concede. I didn't know that he was going to score two. It was going to be two goal lead. The Super Eagles have never defeated Cameroon by 2-goal margins before at the AFCON. It has never happened. So I think and remember this was the same stadium the Super Eagles lost to Cameroon in 1984 final. So a kind of a So I think it can only get better for the Super Eagles, and let's hope that they don't allow this victory to get into their head, because the journey is they just gotten like halfway of the journey, and we hope they don't let this get into their head, because the tricky team ahead of them in the quarterfinal.
Okay, of course. The Super Eagles, the battle is still long ahead, and we hope that Stanley Nwabali will a quick recovery. Kyle, it should be part of. I will know in the next few days, in the next coming days, there will be something about the future of Rigobert Song with the Indomitable Lions. But I know you are going to say that his time is up, surely.
Honestly, I think Samuel Eto'o has carried Rigobert Song this far, and that's a testament to their friendship. Ordinarily, if it were another president that recruited him, he would have been long gone. The Cameroonian team has not played well under him. Fantastic player he was in his days, record breaker, but as a coach, legend of the game. But as a coach, he hasn't done too well with his team. So for me, I think a decision has to be made, and quick one too, because the World Cup qualifiers is still on. The AFCON qualifiers will start soon. There is a lot of games to play this year for teams. So you have to make a decision about that team. Of course, some people will tell you about continuity, but you only continue where there's a prospect. This team has regressed badly. I see it's easy to blame players' commitment. I agree. But then there's a place, or there's a point where you also look at the manager. That what is he doing? He might come back in another time and do well. But at this time, there should be a clean break. Then look for somebody else. You could be a foreign coach. You could be an home-based, an indigenous coach. It doesn't matter to me at this coach. You just need a pair of fresh legs, pair of fresh thinking to think at this team at this stage.
Okay, one would say that the Cameroon side is so damaged, because if you have someone like Andre Onana, who keeps on Manchester United, and he's on the bench in a game of this caliber, then you know that something is really wrong. In the pre-match press conference, Rigobert Song was saying that he has no rift with Andre Onana, but everybody knows that is absolutely.
Femi, sorry to cut you. I was hoping you weren't going to bring the Onana issue. Onana is the most irresponsible in this situation. You are coming to a competition of the AFCON's magnitude. You are coming the day of the first game, as if you are the savior of the team, of the world.
You hope to play.
And you hope to play. So for me, if I were, as a matter of fact, I heard that it was the players that insisted that it shouldn't be featured. In that, because it was actually going to be played in the first game, they said no.
Wow.
If you got to play, they were going to sabotage the team, and I 100% support them. You cannot treat the team, the country, like toilet paper, and expect that you just walk in. What if you flew in on a private jet? Are you the first player to do that? Generations of players have done that. What's his name? Their legend. He did it. The legend at the 1990 World Cup. Roger Miller did it. Eto'o did it several times. A lot of their players have flown in private jets. The fact that you play with Manchester United does not mean you are the heart and soul of the team. So for me, if this situation repeats itself again, I will support Rigobert Song to put him on the fucking bench.
Okay. Kyle is visibly angry this one. We know you are half Nigerian, half Ghanaian, but I don't know that you also share part of Cameroon, part of their blood. Just let's talk about the Super Eagles. Let's not take anything away from them, because it seems they actually worked out every detail of the manager's tactics coming into this game. particularly Victor Osimhen. He still didn't score, but you saw the contribution to the game. And Ademola Lookman getting his first brace for Nigeria. It was a team performance that the Super Eagles of Nigeria can be proud of.
Yeah, Femi, I think the only thing that will take the Super Eagles team now to maybe the final is teamwork. The team is not made up of just one individual that's the heart and soul of the team. They play as a unit from the goalkeeper to the defense to the midfield. All we have is a workaholic team. You can see that even right from Victor Osimhen, the way he falls back, help in the defense, and everybody is just fighting.
The pressure that led to the first goal and led the ball perfectly for Ademola Lookman. No selfishness.
So it's about teamwork now. You cannot single out this person that if I take this person out. I mean, the Super Eagles have missed certain players. We've not seen the likes of Ian Acho. We've not seen Terry Murphy. Alassane Yusuf got injured, but everybody are just stepping up. That's the only thing. This is a team that have been ravaged with injury, but they've come together as one. That's what is really helping them. And most of the players are stepping up. Most of the guys that we used to criticize, we saw this tournament has been a turnaround for him. Calvin Bassey too has impressed. To second, he has brought his wealth of experience. Even when the likes of Okeno Tumirole comes, you see that experience. They always try to, come whenever he comes in, you know that this game is won. Because the experience is there, the way they go about it, the midfield to find the team still lack that creativity that we are talking about. But the way the man Specera has set up his team, he has set up them in a way that it's difficult for you to beat. They are a difficult team to beat. That is obvious now for everybody to see that the Super Eagles, they are a very difficult side now to beat. For you to score, for you to beat them, you have to go through a lot. So we just have to accept it like now that this is the way the team is set up. So hopefully they continue like this till at least they get to the final.
Okay, of course, 3 clean sheets for Nigeria in 4 matches at the AFCON. Kyle, let's talk about Namibia versus Angola. You already said it during our preview about 2 days ago that the Namibians, we have too much on their plate, and it was the same. Even though it was, they both finished with 10 men, but it was still even. And the Namibians, by now, I think they should have booked their flight back to the country with their head held high because no one thought they would ever come this far.
Oh yeah, and like I said, I don't know whether to say I'm glad it played out the way I predicted it. But I just felt that the Angolans as they are at this stage. As a matter of fact, I put them on the same pedestal with the Equatorial Guineans. They are playing very, very delightful football, Femi, I must tell you. And the 3 players I talked about were the ones who actually won the game for them. I talked about their captain, Freddie. He got 2 assists. The 3rd goal was actually the one who initiated it, gave the ball to Gelson, who passed to the guy who eventually scored, and Gelson got 2 goals too. So those 3 are the pivots of the team. If you're going to take this Angolan team out, they are the ones you have to pay particular attention to. But that does not mean the other players are robots. They all play and function as a team. But this team, like I said, are playing some of the best football Angola has ever played. Femi, I kid you not, I've seen them play all 4 games, and I tell you that the Super Eagles better sit down, celebrate yesterday's victory, and get back to work today. Because, and like what we always see, once Super Eagles play a good game, then they fall flat in their next game, and sometimes they play to the strength of the opposition. Sometimes I hope they come with their A game to the quarterfinal game against Angola. But I think on the probability on the balance of talent, the Super Eagles should trump in this game.
Okay, of course. So the Super Eagles of Nigeria will take on the Palangas Negras of Angola in the quarterfinal. Let's talk about matches that are on the card today. Equatorial Guinea, one of the surprise team of the tournament, as well as against Guinea. So today, somebody said we'll know who the true owners of Guinea is. It's also a misfortune for both sides because Equatorial Guinea, we saw them, they led Group A where Nigeria was, and of course, Guinea, they had to finish 3rd in their own group with Senegal, Cameroon, and of course, them. James, let's talk about this. Is it going to be an interesting matchup, or you expect Victoria Guinea to continue to fly high at the AFCON?
Femi, is going to be a tricky tie for them. This is the round of 16, and I believe we have the Guinean team is one that is experienced. The Equatorial Guinea, they are flying high now, so all eyes on them. So the pressure will be on them because one thing I've come to notice about this Minus is that they tend to fold when the pressure sets in, because unlike the likes of maybe Nigeria in the good old days when the big teams, when they come to get to this stage, they always find a way to maneuver them. Except when they are a terrible side, maybe form wise they are not. So they know how to maneuver their way from when it gets to a stage like this. But a team like Equatorial Guinea, that's like the new bride, they're among the new brides, so I don't know how they're going to cope, because when it gets to this stage, I mean, whatever you did in the group stage doesn't count anymore. It's about what you bring to the table. And once you don't take your chances, I mean, you just know that you are in for it. They've been free scoring in the group stage, but Femi, this is the stage where every chance will count. The chances will come at the premium now. It's going to be very, very difficult. The Guineans will make it tough for them. So it's a very balanced, tight affair, and it's so difficult to pinpoint a particular team that's going to come out. I'm not saying there as overwhelming favorites. Fine, on paper you want to say that, but Femi, I'm looking out for a very, very tight contest that will be very difficult to call.
Okay, Akade, before we talk about Egypt versus DR Congo game, do you agree with James? Because we've seen this Equatorial Guinea side that when you thought you've seen the best of them, they come up again with another scintillating performance. We saw against Nigeria. They are the only country that has breached the defense of the Super Eagles of Nigeria so far in this competition. Against Guinea-Bissau, we saw they blew Guinea-Bissau away. And the worst was the way they took out Cote d'Ivoire, the host, completely. Do you think it is still going to be almost 50-50 like James has painted it?
Funny enough, I agree with James. This may sound surprising, but I agree with him. Guinea has a much more talented squad, although the momentum is with Equatorial Guinea, I must admit. And because the Guinean players, especially their star player, Seru Gurasi, has not been on top of his game because of the injuries that he brought to the AFCON. That's part of the problem that they have. They have a problem with scoring. They played 1-1 with Cameroon. They lost 2-0 to what do you call it? Senegal, and they were only able to beat Gambia. So for me, if Seru Gurasi gets to play and is in top form, it would cause a lot of problems for the Equatorial Guineans. So I am tempted to think this game could be the first penalty of the knockout stages. And if it goes to penalties, I can assure you that Guinea will definitely win this game.
Of course, because they have the best goalkeeper so far in the tournament. Jesus Owono, he won the best goalkeeper in the group stage. And of course, Emilio Nsue will be looking to continuing his top scoring form. He is the current top scorer at the 2023 AFCON with 5 goals. Let's talk about Egypt versus DR Congo, James. This is make it out of the group. We've not seen the best of the Egyptians so far. Like they are one of the teams that are usually described as they have tournament bounce because they may not well, but as the competition progresses in this competition, now they are Congo.
Egypt, you don't give them the opportunities to get themselves, to warm themselves into tournament. We saw that's what they did last time. After losing to Super Eagles, they went all the way to the final. After they came out of the group stage, they defeated Cote d'Ivoire, defeated Morocco, defeated Cameroon, before they now lost to Senegal on penalties. So that's the thing about teams like this, very experienced. They might not start well, but once they warm themselves into the tournament, Femi, they are good to expect them to beat. But when you put them side by side, Femi, you want to tilt to Egypt because they have the experience. They know how to. It's not about how they start, but how they finish. Once they start going, it's always difficult to stop them. That's why I started the example of how they got they just went off the. And they know that this is another opportunity for them to put all the wrongs right now. And I don't know the kind of DRC team that will come, because this day to they hardly score a lot of goals. And if they allow the Pharaoh
get up and wake up, because we're going to fight in that game against Nigeria, but it showed that they had nothing left in them. Kade, this game, of course, though we've seen a different side of the Egyptians without members to qualify, and of Victoria, of course, their coach is currently on being sacked in the game. But do you still think that, like James said, the Egyptians will more likely be able to bring in their experience, and show that they've not won 7 titles, but
the rest of start fearing it? Like I said, don't forget that they are slow starters. They invested in the competition, and the more they play, the better they get. Especially when they get to knockout stages, the North Africans, especially Egypt, are kings of the knockouts. They know how to defense for it. It doesn't matter whether once they get a goal, they out. So when we underestimate the Egyptians, especially, and North Africans generally, they are very, very tactical. They may not play eye-pleasing football. You might be wondering what sort of role are they playing. If this goal is enough to see them through to the next round, they will just sit on it. So if I were the Congo, I would be very, very careful against this Egyptian side, and not only them, whoever they are going to play in this competition. Do not take it to be wrong. The team on the basis of those 3 games for me, with the weather, now they are able, and I see no that is worrying for me, Femi, is the fact that in all 3 games, they play 2-2, 2-2. That's very, very uncharacteristic.
I was going to say that, Ricardo, because
very,
what you
very
saw against Cape
uncharacteristic of
they
them.
needed that game, and they survived by,
Don't normally games is very that could open a vista. This team are not solid at the back, so we could just get a goal and also sit on it. That's if they have the tactical discipline to sit on it. So that's the window of opportunity I'm willing to open for DR Congo. Going forward, the Egyptians should get their players sent off, able to also mount pressure. And let's not deceive ourselves. The DR Congo, they will get chances. Because I saw that in all their 3 games, that they've always find a way to create chances, but it is putting those chances away. And the team that is more game out.
Okay. Because the winner playing each other in the round of in the quarterfinal. We'll keep our fingers crossed regarding. Like Kakadia said, Samuel Eto'o has a decision to make, and if he decides to keep Rigobert Song, I know Cameroonian stakeholders, they might go to CAF and even the FIFA to reopen the issue, the allegation they open against him. So much for your thought today. Thank you.
And one congratulations to the Super.
Today or even until tomorrow, because they defeated one of their biggest rivals in African football. Please, our fans, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We appreciate you so much for your company, for your support throughout since we launched the Sports Africa, of course, countdown to the AFCON, and of course, since the tournament began. We appreciate you so much. Please don't forget, don't just watch our video. Please subscribe. Click on that notification button so that you can get the videos as soon as they drop. We appreciate you once again so much. We do not take that lightly at all. I remain Ashalolu FM. We will return tomorrow with another yesterday at the AFCON, and of course, the very round of 16 matches that will be going down on Monday. Until then, bye for now.